like this. Not like this.
Too late.
Brand loyalty, it's a horrible thing to see. Are you really now going to just agree with this and just go with this and run with this? You've been told to pay £70 for games that are cross-gen. They've got MTs, they have issues, and the servers can't even run. This is... I don't get how you're literally capping for this. Is Sony so important to you? Is console warring so important to you than your own sort of welfare? your own money. You're willing to throw your money at a company that does give no fucks. Literally, is telling you right to your face, we don't give fucks about you, we just want your money. And you're literally just going, yes, just take my money. To take it, yes. Well, you know you give no fucks about us. Just rob us. I want to be robbed. Is this what you're going to... What's weird is that you're comparing it to Halo. Some of you even compare it to Halo, which was a free-to-play game. And you're saying a free-to-play game is a worse scenario than a £70 game that went down for like a day or so, and they're overcharging you for microtransactions. This is brand loyalty. It's disgusting to see. It's deceitful. And I'll tell you why it's deceitful, because Sony, when they give the review copies out of the game to critics and reviewers, they didn't announce and open up the MTs then. So the reviewers didn't get to see these MTs. So they reviewed the game on the value that it had no MTs in it. It wasn't until the game, after several days after the reviews had been put out, then they opened up to the MTs and said, oh look, by the way, we've got MTs, everybody. And opened up the costings and off to them. Otherwise, people, like they did for Forza Horizon 7, would have been judged. The game would have been judged on its MTs. But it wasn't, because Sony was deceitful to the critics and the reviews, and I personally think that they should go back and re-review the game based on this. So I'm fine. This is the brilliant thing about it. The ironic thing about this is Decieves. Decieves are a review site. It's made up of various different reviewers that give their opinions on games, because that's what reviews are. They're opinions. That's what some people can't seem to fucking grasp.
The truth.
Their opinions, and they have several people on their team. Anyway, someone gave a review of Horizon Forbidden West and gave it a 6.5, which a certain fan base had a breakdown about and cried because they think 6.5 is a biased score, whereas 10 out of 10 is not biased in the slightest. Giving all games 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10s even is not biased, because all games, all Sony games, should be 10 out of 10s, but anything under those is biased. That's the real stupidity. That's pure stupidity right there and then. You cannot define stupidity even more better than that. But the ironic thing here is Sony then blacklisted them. Who blacklists a review site for giving their opinion on your game? Someone that's very disingenuous. Someone that's not trusting, really, because you'd only blacklist someone that's given their opinion of your game if you just want your games to score high, sort of without real opinions being formed. You literally do want biased opinions, biased reviewers to review your games, which then gives a biased score to your games. That's what they can't grasp. So they blacklisted Survivor, didn't they? But he still managed to get a copy of this game after the review embargo, and then still reviewed it and gave it amazingly a 7.5, which is actually quite high. Just to clarify, he gave Horizon Forbidden West a 6.5, as he stated in his review, because the issues of it, because the bugs, the glitches, just various issues with the game, and he said it wasn't that much of an evolution from the last game. However, GT7, I think he scored fairly, 7.5. That seems fair enough. I would have scored it far lower for how it looked and the MTs and the costs and everything. The sort of the collaboration of all the issues with it. I would have scored it far lower, but he generously scored it 7.5. And the Sony fan base hated on him once again. So of course they went on the attack of Survivor. Bear in mind, when he scored Horizon Forbidden West a 6.5, there was journalists that scored it lower. There's journalists that scored it 6 and stuff like that. They didn't attack them. They didn't attack them. No, they ignored them. They just attacked Survivor for scoring 6.5. I can only grasp that the reasoning of this is because in the past he scored Sony games very high, which then doesn't make him biased at all. He scored Ratchet & Clank a 9, The Last of Us 2 a 10. He's scored loads of games, Sony games, higher. It's just that this reviewer see Horizon Forbidden West for what it was, and same as Gran Turismo 7, and now he's biased. Now he's suddenly biased. Bear in mind, we've gone for a whole generation of PlayStation 4 journalists scoring their games 9s and 10s, all their games. There's no bias there whatsoever. There was no media bias at all. And they're scoring Xbox games, all 6s and stuff regardless. No bias there, nothing whatsoever. 7.5? Fuck, shit. You bias as shit? Fuck. 7.5 is a fucking good score. The game overall scored 87, which is an incredible score for a game that's fucked, let's be honest. 87 is a great score. I'm not sure how the user scores reflect on that too well, and they're getting lower. We haven't seen these user scores since The Last of Us 2. There's a reason why. I mean, people go, oh, it's a masterpiece, The Last of Us 2. It won Game of the Year, like so many awards. How many sales? What's the sales? Oh, 4.4 million in its first week. Then what's the sales after that? Sony went silent on its sales for The Last of Us 2. It knows the game crashed and burnt. It's primarily, it's 4 million sales within a week were the ones where it just misled people, and people bought the game thinking it's going to be a masterpiece, and it dropped off quickly. And Gran Turismo 7's doing the same. Sadly, Horizon Forbidden West, which is better than Gran Turismo 7, dropped off because we thought it'd go toe to toe with Elden Ring and died horribly. It just got face planted 8-9 times. But Gran Turismo 7, sorry, I'm deflecting here off the point. Gran Turismo 7, Steve Iver scored it 7.5. Nothing wrong with that score whatsoever. But they just started attacking him again and calling him biased. Now we're getting the whole media bias thing, and it's ruining gaming and stuff. They're just giving it's just a fair score. These are I see Steve Iver, and as I commented on Twitter to him, it's good to see now journalists finally waking up and being sort of given proper scores. Because I've got a video about this coming on later on. Metacritic is a broken system. The scoring out of 10 is a broken system. Giving games 9s and 10s every game is a broken Metacritic. It's a broken metric. It's a broken system. It should be stopped. But they hated on this poor review site. I mean, it's not even one guy. There's various guys giving. This guy was a different guy that gave the score for Horizon Forbidden West, and it's horrible to see. And there is a name for this horrible cult that just keep attacking everyone that doesn't bend the knee to Sony. There's a name, and I've mentioned it before. It's not a very nice name, but it's just re-established what that word is.
Only 6.
What's your 6, Anne?
Retard.
Let's be honest here. You're all like spoilt children. You're all making stupid, outrageous demands. You're all entitled kids. Spoiled, entitled children that have been misled and misplaced in gaming. This is why I think Sony is slowly, I'm not going to say going under and collapsing, because I'll be attacked as well. But their sales are dropping compared to Xbox, and I don't really care for sales, but it is sort of telling on the market that a game, as you will say, a console doesn't have games, or releases nothing so far this year, yet is outselling PlayStation in Europe and America, despite not even releasing games. And I think the initial high sales of the PlayStation 5 was because Sony misled its gamers by telling them it's going to release PlayStation 5 only games, and some of these games will be releasing in 2021, and one of those games included Gran Turismo 7, which they said originally was going to be PS5 only, PS5 exclusive, because they believed in generations. And many of you went out at the launch of the consoles and bought a console thinking that these games will be dropping in 2021 like they originally told you. And now look where we are. And I think those original sales of the PlayStation 5s were those people. And this is why now the sales are slowly dropping. Because the initial people that wanted the consoles to play these games have already bought the console. And the new people are not investing into the console because it's just not being, they're not just not impressive, and they're misleading, and they're continuously being pulled out for just upsetting the populace, upsetting true gamers. And I think it's at this stage, Sony fanboys need to demand better. You need to demand more. You called for it, you demanded it of Xbox gamers to do it, and they did it for an entire generation. Things changed, and now Xbox is off to a flying start, and Sony is not. And I think you need to do something about it. Rather than just deflect on Xbox, deflect on its gamers, you need to look at what you're saying. You sound like bigots, you sound stupid and pathetic. You're being clowned now by Nintendo fans, by PC fans, by Xbox fans, even by some PlayStation fans. You're being clowned, and you need to wake up, because if Sony does anything bad that happens to Sony, it will be because of you. You, the gamer. You are the gamer, you are the voice of Sony. And unless you do something, I just don't see them, as I think it was Patch that said, going down the same route, lasting like the way you think they will last. And I think they will change. Well, they already are adapting to more Xbox's sort of style of revenue, because that is the way to make money. But you just need to keep that in check. You can't just let them run away with it. You can't just let them charge you £70 for games, throwing overpriced MTs, and then the quality of service is not there either. It reminds me of the PS3 days. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please let me know in the comments below. Please share and like. Let me know what you think over the whole thing, over Sony, how they are at the moment, how their games, the future of Sony. GT7, what do you think? What do you think about the MTs? Please let me know. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe and share, and goodbye for now.